All right, this is take two. We're at RFK Stadium as Cleveland Indians face the Washington Senators. Indians have won their last four in a row, and they've won all three games of this weekend series so far against the Senators, and they are looking to take a four-game sweep. Last night, the Indians came back in dramatic fashion, scoring 2 runs in the top of the eighth and then 3 runs in the top of the ninth to win a 9-8 victory. Pitching for Cleveland today is Vince Colbert. He's made 10 starts. He's 4-6 with an ERA of 5.81. He's made one start against Washington. This year he's 0-1 with a 5.63 ERA. Pitching for the Senators is Bill Gogoleski, a rookie. He's made 11 starts on the year. He's 6-3 with an ERA of 3.44. He's made one start against the Indians. He was 1-0 with an ERA of 5.63. It's 83 degrees here in the nation's capital. Indians starting lineup leading off the center fielder Ted Uhlaender. Batting second, the first baseman Chris Chambliss. Batting third, the catcher Ray Fosse. He got the big hit in the game last night. Batting fourth, the third baseman Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the right fielder Roy Foster. Batting sixth, the shortstop Eddie Leone. Batting seventh, the second baseman John Lowenstein. Batting eighth, the left fielder Frank Baker. And batting ninth, the pitcher Vince Colbert. On defense, Washington has Frank Howard at first base, Tim Cullen at second, Toby Harrah at short, Dave Nelson at third, Del Unser in left, Elliot Maddox in center, Jeff Burrows in right, Dick Billings catching, and on the mound, Bill Gogoleski. Bill Gogoleski, he's a fastball pitcher, keeps the ball down. He was called up on April 23rd. He's pitched in 16 games. 11 of those have been starts, and 5 of those are complete games. He's having himself a good rookie season. Leading off for the Indians is the center fielder Ted Uhlaender. He's hitting 293, 2 home runs, and 30 runs batted in. First pitch, too high, ball one. Fouls it back, strike one. Indians rarely play Saturday night games on the road, or they play Saturday night games at night and only do it on the road. I'm already stumbling around here. Hits a grounder right back to the mound. Gogoleski throws him out. 1 out. Here's Chris Chambliss, who's hitting 291. He has 9 home runs and 31 runs batted in. The 2-0 pitch. Grounder to short. Harrah with the throw to first. The throw pulled Howard off the bag. Chambliss is safe at first, and they are giving Harrah an error. Here is Ray Fosse hitting 297, 7 home runs, 52 runs batted in. He had the big hit yesterday, a double in the ninth inning when the Indians were down 8-7, and he drove in 2 and put the Indians ahead 9-8. And And that was ultimately the final score of the game. Come on. Alley Jr. Alley Jr.'s in the box with me. Swing and a miss, strike one. Too high, ball one. Low and inside, ball two. Too high, ball three. Swing and a miss, strike two. Fussy hits a fly ball in the left field. Unser's going back. And he's got it. For a second, it looked like it might go out, but then it just kind of died. Here is Greg Nettles. He's hitting .279, 31 home runs, 94 runs batted in. Nettles hit 2 home runs last night. He leads the majors in that fly ball in the left field. Unser's there, and he's got it. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the first. Cleveland nothing. Washington coming to bat. As I was saying, Nettles leads the majors in RBIs, and he is tied for the major league lead in home runs with Rico Petrocelli of the Boston Red Sox. Starting lineup for Texas. Leading off the third baseman, Dave Nelson. Batting second, the left fielder, Del Unser. Batting third, the catcher, Dick Billings. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Frank Howard. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Jeff Burrows. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Toby Harrah. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Elliot Maddox. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Tim Cullen. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Bill Gogoleski. On defense, the Indians have Chris Chambliss at first, John Lowenstein at second, Eddie Leone at short, Greg Nettles at third, Frank Baker in left, Ted Uhlaender in center, Roy Foster in right. Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound, Vince Colbert. Colbert's 4-6 with 3 saves this year. He is one of the Indians' hard-throwing youngsters. 88 in the third innings. He's given up 120 hits. 6 of them home runs, so he's not bad on that. He's walked 40 and he struck out 50. Dave Nelson leads off. He's hitting .316, 5 home runs, 17 runs batted in. He's a former member of the Indians. He was somewhat of the GOAT last night. The Indians had 2 outs in the ninth. They were 1 out away from losing the game, and then he committed a critical error, and that opened the door for the Indians to score 3 runs to take the lead and ultimately take the game. The 2-2 pitch. Bouncer to short. Leone bobbles it. But he recovers and throws him out. 1 out. Here is Del Unser, the left fielder. He's hitting .249, 10 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Spoiler alert, Del Unser, future member of the Cleveland Indians. The 1-0 pitch. It's a fly ball in center field. Uhlaender drifting back. He's near the track, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Dick Billings, the catcher. He's hitting .269, 3 home runs, 43 runs batted in. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball. He hits a liner to second, and that is right at John Lowenstein. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. We played 1 in the nation's capital. No score. Roy Foster leads off for the Indians. He's hitting .250 with 15 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Later today, the Cleveland Browns play their first preseason game out in San Francisco. And tomorrow, the Indians will be in Cooperstown to play in the Hall of Fame game against the Chicago Cubs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Bouncer to short. Hara has it. Throws him out. 1 out. It's the shortstop, Eddie Leone. He's hitting .285, 5 home runs, 40 runs batted in. John Lowenstein's on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Or 1-0 pitch. Grounder to second. Cullen throws him out. 2 outs. Here is John Lowenstein, second baseman. He's hitting .108, 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. He is 4 for 37. He was just called up after Jack Heidemann was lost to the season after having knee surgery. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Gogoleski. Nothing across for Cleveland in the second. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. For Washington in the second, it will be Frank Howard, Jeff Burroughs, and Toby Hara. Frank Howard is hitting .278. He has 28 home runs, 79 runs batted in. Yesterday, Frank Howard had two-run homers. So he had quite a game yesterday. He is an Ohio State alum. He's from Columbus. And the Indians have been trying for years to get him from the Senators. He was the MVP back in 1968. And he originally came up with the Dodgers. And then went over to Washington in 1965 in the trade that sent Claude Osteen to L.A. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a ground ball to second. Lowenstein has it. Colbert runs over to cover first. And he's out. 1 out. Here is rookie Jeff Burroughs. He's hitting .205, 2 home runs, and 8 runs batted in. Burroughs was called up on July 14th. And today is April 8th. So been there about 3 weeks. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Strikeout number 1 for Colbert. Here is Toby Hara, the shortstop. He's hitting .250, 4 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Hara's another rookie. He made the team out of spring training. And spoiler alert, he's a future member of the Cleveland Indians. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fosse dropped the ball and had to throw him out. Second strikeout for Colbert. Nothing across for Washington. We played 2, no score. Frank Baker leads off the third for the Indians. He's hitting .226. 2 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Another rookie. He was called up on June 11th. Only a few days before Jeff Burroughs was called up by Washington. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here's Vince Colbert. He's hitting .130, no home runs, 1 run batted in. He is 3 for 23 on the year. The 3-2 pitch. Base hit into left field. That's the first hit of the game. Here's Ted Uhlaender. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to Gogoleski in the first inning. up and away, ball one. Caught the outside half of the plate there, strike one. Grounder up the middle, this could be two. Hara has it, steps on second for one. Throw to first, not in time. 2 outs. Eulander's on first. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 0 for 1. He was safe on an error by Hara in the first inning. Ball one. Hits a grounder at first. Gogolewski's covering. He underhands it. 3 outs. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third. It is no score. Here's that play again. It was right to Howard. And he didn't even have to move. Elliot Maddox leads off for Washington. He is hitting 197 with 1 home run, 34 runs batted in. Maddox came over from Detroit along with Denny McLain in the trade for Aurelio Lopez and Ed Brinkman and Joe Coleman. So far this year, it looks like that trade has definitely worked out better for Detroit. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounder to third. Nettles to his left. Has a throws him out. 1 out. Here's Tim Cullen, the second baseman, hitting 208. 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. The 1-2 pitch. It's base hit into right field. That's the first base runner of the game for Washington. Here is Bill Gogolewski sitting 188, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. He is 6 for 32 as a hitter. He's a good bunter, so the corners will be playing him in. 1 out, runner on first. Fastball, he lays down a bunt right in front of the plate. Fosse's up with it. He'll have to go to first. He throws to Lowenstein, covering for the out. 2 outs. Cullen takes second on the sacrifice. Here's Dave Nelson. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to Eddie Leon last time up. Sitting 308 against right-handers. Outside, he checked the swing. They appeal. Ball 1. Too high, ball 2. It's a fly ball in the center field. Eulander going back on the track. That's off the wall. Cullen scores. Nelson's on second. Eulander crashed into the wall. He's out there walking it off. He will stay in the game. That's double number 3 for Nelson and RBI number 18. Washington takes a 1-0 lead. Here's Del Unser. He's 0 for 1. High and outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Low, ball 2. Ted Williams was asked about the game last night and said that it looks like Johnny LaPont has the looks like they're loose playing for him, unlike Al Dark playing for both the manager and the general manager. Said he played with LaPont for a short time together on the Red Sox in 1953 after Williams came back from Korea, and he said that he's not surprised that LePon has been a good minor league manager and looks like he has the makings of being a good major league manager. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Grounder to short. Leone has it. Throws to first. Safe, not in time. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. Let's look at that again. Yeah, Leone had to come in a long way on that slow roller. Here's Dick Billings. He's 0 for 1. He lined to the second baseman in the first inning. Frank Howard's on deck. Pops it up third base side, but that will make the seats. Strike one. Fastball low, ball one. Billings hits a fly ball to left field. Baker coming in to his left, and he has it. 3 outs. But Washington gets 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We played 3 in Washington. It is the Senators 1, the Indians nothing. Let's take a look around the league. Top of the first in St. Louis. The Dodgers lead the Cardinals 2-0. Duke Sims, former member of the Indians, hit his 3rd home run for the Dodgers. That is Don Sutton against Reggie Cleveland. Don Sutton is looking for his 18th win of the year. Top of the 4th in Pittsburgh. The Pirates lead the Phillies 5-0. That is Ken Reynolds against Luke Walker. Bottom of the 1st at Wrigley Field. The Cubs lead the Giants 1-0. That is Juan Marichal against Milt Pappas. Tomorrow afternoon, the Cubs will be at Doubleday Field along with the Indians to play in the Hall of Fame game. Bottom of the 4th in Atlanta, the Mets lead the Braves 2-1. Jerry Grote hit his 3rd home run for the Mets. That is Gary Gentry against Ron Reed. Top of the 4th in Cincinnati. The Reds lead the Expos 2-0. Johnny Bench hit his 15th home run for Cincinnati. Bench had a very painful wrist injury. Probably still has it, but it really kept his numbers down in the first half of the season. He's finally getting back to being the Johnny Bench that everybody expected to see this year, especially coming off his MVP season last year. That's Bill Stoneman against Ross Grimsley. Top of the 4th at Fenway Park. Tigers lead the Red Sox 7-0. Gates Brown hit his 15th home run for the Tigers. That is Mickey Lolich going for win number 17 against former member of the Indians, Louis Tiant. Cleveland is a game and a half behind Boston for 5th place. Let's see. Bottom of the 4th at Yankee Stadium. The Orioles lead the Yankees 2-0. That is Pat Dobson against Mel Stottlemyre. Bottom of the 1st at the Astrodome. San Diego leads Houston 1-0. Ed Spezio hit his 8th home run. That's Clay Kirby against Wade Blassingame. And top of the 1st in Kansas City. No score between the Brewers and the Royals. That's Luke Krause against Dick Drago. And here in Washington in the fourth inning for Cleveland, it will be Ray Fosse, Greg Nettles, and Roy Foster. Alan Foster is away on military duty right now. And Sam McDonald is suspended, so the Indians' pitching staff is a little decimated at the moment. Ray Fosse is 0 for 1. He flied out to left field in the first inning. It's a liner into left field. Base hit. They got him caught off first. And he avoids the rundown. And he is safe. And they are giving him credit for a double. Yeah, there it is. He's made the turn. They caught him off base. But he beat the throw. Yeah, he got a double. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 0 for 1. He flied out the left field last time up. Low and away, ball 1. Too low, ball 2. Fosse's on second, representing the tying run. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Grounder down the first base line. It's foul. It's a grounder to first. Howard has it. He'll take it himself. 1 out. Fosse takes third. Runner on third. 1 out. Fosse represents the tying run. Here's Roy Foster. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to the shortstop in the second inning. Pops it up. Hara takes charge at short, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Eddie Leone. He's 0 for 1. He grounded at second last time up. Later today on the West Coast, be a doubleheader between the A's and the White Sox. A's are a half game in front of the White Sox for first place in the American League West. Strike 2 called. Outside, ball 1. Grounder off of Gogoleski. To second, Cullen throws him out. 3 outs. They get out of a bit of a jam there. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's Washington 1, Cleveland nothing. Frank Howard leads off for Washington in the fourth. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to second back in the second inning. The 3-1 pitch. Pops it up. Fosse's under it, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Jeff Burroughs. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Leone to his left. Has it. He'll throw him out. 2 outs. And here's Toby Hara. He's 0 for 1. He struck out and had to be thrown out at first. The 3-2 pitch. Base hit in the left field. Here's Elliot Maddox. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to third. Sitting 250 against right-handers. Curveball. Strike 1 called. On the outside corner. Strike 2. Too high. Ball 1. He wasn't chasing. It's in the dirt. Gets away from Fosse. Hara takes second. And that's a wild pitch. Outside, ball 3, full count. Fly ball down the left field line, but that is foul. Ball 4. Oh, he started him out at 0-2. And Maddox works him for a walk. Here's Tim Cullen. He's 1-for-1. He's singled in the third. He scored the only run of the game. Outside, ball one. It's fly ball in the right field. Foster's going back. It's off the wall. Harris scores. Maddox scores. Cullen is in with a stand-up double. It's 3-0 Washington. Here is Bill Gogoleski. He had a sacrifice bunt back in the third. Liner down the first base line. That's foul. Inside, ball one. It's a base hit in the right field. Foster's up with it. Cullen rounds third. He'll score. It's 4-1. Washington. Here's Dave Nelson. He's 1-for-2. He doubled in the third, and that scored Tim Cullen. Grounder down the first base line. That's foul. Ball one. Too low. Ball two. Ball three. Inside. Ball four. Colbert looks a little rattled out there now. They're going to come out and talk to him. And Rick Austin gets up to warm up. Del Unser, he's 1-for-2. He's singled in the third. High and inside, ball one. High and outside, ball two. Curveball, strike one called. Inside, ball three. Colbert seems really rattled out there right now. Base hit in the left field. Gogoleski rounds third. He'll score. It's 5-0. Here's Dick Billings. He's 0-for-2. Outside, ball one. Base hit up the middle. Nelson scores. Unser holds at second. And that will be all for Vince Colbert. Rick Austin's coming in to pitch. He's making his 23rd appearance of the season. He has a record of 1-1 with an ERA of 3.27, 22 innings pitched. He's given up 27 hits, 3 of those home runs. He's walked 21 and struck out 22. Frank Howard, he's 0-for-2. Swing and a miss, strike one. Outside, ball one. Too high, ball two. Outside, ball three. Fouls it back, full count, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Curveball, he fouls that one back. Pops it up, third base side, but that'll make the seats. Ball four. third walk of the inning. And I think the Indians, they got 2 quick outs to start the inning. So the 5 runs have all been scored with 2 outs. Here's Jeff Burrows. He's 0 for 2. He's 1 for 2 on the year with the bases loaded. Ball 1. Too high, ball 2. Caught the outside corner, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Outside, ball 3. Strike 3, swing and a miss. But Washington gets 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 3 men left. We have played 4. It is Washington 6, Cleveland nothing. And that'll end the line for Vince Colbert. 3 2/3 innings. He gave up 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He walked 2, he struck out 2. He was going good, and then he just suddenly lost it. Leading off in the top of the 5th for Cleveland is John Lowenstein. He is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. The 0-2 pitch. Base hit up the middle. Here's Frank Baker. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the 3rd. It's a grounder to second. This could be 2. To second for 1. To first. Double play. And here's the pitcher, Rick Austin. He is 0 for 1 on the season as a hitter. The 2-2 pitch. Hits a grounder to second. Cullen has it, throws him out. Nothing across in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We have an official game here. It is Washington 6, Cleveland nothing. Toby Harrah leads off for Washington. He is 1 for 2. He singled in the last inning. That's what started the Washington rally. They had 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch. Hits a grounder to first. Chambliss has it. Underhands it to Austin. 1 out. Here is Elliot Maddox. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out and he walked in the last inning, and it seemed like that walk, after Colbert started off the at-bat with an 0-2 count, led to Colbert just losing his composure. Ball 4, he walks. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's Tim Cullen, who's 2 for 2 today. He singled in the 3rd. He doubled in the 4th. And that drove in 2 runs. Toby Harrah and Elliot Maddox scored. And that was the first 2 of the 5 runs last inning. There goes Maddox. Fossey's throw. Maddox is safe. That pitch was a strike. Count is 0-1. Maddox going for 3rd. And he's safe. That's his 2nd stolen base of the day. That pitch was a strike. 0-2 count. They're going to bring the infield in now. Changeup outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Rick Austin. Here's Bill Gogoleski. He's 1 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. And he singled in the 4th. That scored Tim Cullen. So Gogoleski was helping himself out. Strike one called on a curveball. Swing and a miss, strike two. Low and outside, ball one. High and outside, ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shallow fly ball down the left field line. Baker's after it, but it's in the seats. Inside corner, strike 3 called. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. We played 5 in Washington. It is the Senators 6 and the Indians nothing. Ted Ullander leads off for Cleveland in the 6th. He's 0 for 2. He grounded to the pitcher and grounded into a force play. The 3-1 pitch. Hits a hard grounder to third. Nelson to his left. Has it. Throws him out. 1 out. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 0 for 2 today. The 2-1 pitch. Oh, he got hit on the leg. Chambliss will take first. Here is Ray Fosse. He's 1 for 2. He doubled in the 4th. Got the inside corner, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's a base hit into right field. Chambliss stops at second. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 0 for 2. Flat out in the first and grounded out in the 4th. Billings talking it over with Gogoleski. Nettles hits a base hit in the right field. Chambliss rounds third. And he will stop there. The Indians have the bases loaded with 1 out. Here's Roy Foster. He's 0 for 2. He grounded the short in the 2nd and popped out to short in the 4th. Hits a shallow fly ball in the right field. Burrows coming in. He's got it. Chambliss tags. He will score. And the Indians are on the board. It's 6-1. Here is Eddie Leone. He's 0 for 2. He grounded to the second baseman in the 2nd inning and in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Strike 3 called. The Indians get 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Washington 6, Cleveland 1. New pitcher for Cleveland is Ed Farmer. Farmer's making his 26th appearance of the year. He has a record of 3-3 with 2 saves, an ERA of 5.87. He's a hard thrower. Has some trouble with his control. He has 41 walks and 41 strikeouts. Dave Nelson leads off for Washington. He is 1 for 2. He grounded to the shortstop. Doubled in the 3rd, scoring the first run of the game, and walked in the 4th. 1-0 pitch. It's a hard grounder to first. Chambliss up with it. Tosses to Farmer covering. 1 out. It's Del Unser now. He is 2 for 3. He singled in the 3rd. And he singled in the 4th. That scored Gogoleski with Washington's 5th run of the game. The 1-2 pitch. Base hit in the right field. That's his 3rd hit of the game. Here's Dick Billings. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the fourth. That scored Dave Nelson. That made it 6-0 Washington. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Strike one. Swung at a bad pitch there. Strike two. Ball one. Up and away. Ball two. Outside. Ball three. Pitches a strike. Unser's going for second. He is thrown out. That's a strikeout, throw him out, double play to end the inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, no one left. We played 6 here in the nation's capital. Washington leads 6-1. Washington has 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They've left 6 men on base. Cleveland has 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. They've left 5 men on base. Leading off in the 7th for Cleveland will be John Lowenstein. He is 1 for 2. He singled in the 5th. The 1-1 pitch. It's a fly ball into right center. Burrows going back. That is gone. That's home run number 2 for John Lowenstein. That nearly went 400 feet. It's 6-2 Cleveland. Here's Frank Baker. He is over 2. He grounded into a double play last time up. The 1-0 pitch, he grounds it back to the box. 1 out. Here is Ed Farmer. He is 1 for 11 as a hitter this season. The 0-1 pitch. It's a bouncer to first. Howard has it. He'll take it himself. 2 outs. And here's Ted Ullander, who's 0 for 3 today. The 2-0 pitch. It's a grounder to short. Hera is up with it. Throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland. We go, or no, I'm sorry. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. How could I forget about John Lowenstein's home run? We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Washington 6, Cleveland 2. Let's go around the league again. Bottom of the 6th. At St. Louis, Dodgers lead the Cardinals 2-1. Don Sutton against Reggie Cleveland. Don Sutton's going for his 18th win. Bottom of the 7th in Pittsburgh. Pirates lead the Phillies 11-0. That's Woody Fryman against Luke Walker. Charlie Sands is 4 for 5 today. Bottom of the 6th in Chicago. At Wrigley Field, the Cubs lead the Giants 4-2. Jim Hickman is 3 for 3 for Chicago. That's Juan Marichal against Milpapas. Top of the 9th in Atlanta. Mets lead the Braves 5-2. Dave Marshall hit his 5th home run for the Mets. Final in Cincinnati, the Reds beat the Expos 4-0. Russ Grimsley got the win. He is 2-9. Bill Stoneman got the loss. He's 6-13. Top of the 9th at Yankee Stadium. The Orioles lead the Yankees 6-0. That's Pat Dobson against Jim Hambright. One of the Robinsons hit his 14th home run for Baltimore. If I had to guess, I would say that would be Frank Robinson. Top of the 5th in the Astrodome. Astros lead the Padres 5-1. That is Clay Kirby against Wade Blasingame. And top of the 8th in Kansas City, the Brewers lead the Royals 2-1. That is Ken Sanders against Dick Drago. In the bottom of the 7th, Frank Howard leads off. He is 0 for 2. Grounded to second in the 2nd inning. Popped out to the catcher in the 4th, and then later on in the 4th, after Washington batted around, he walked. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball down the left field line, but that is foul. Breaking ball. He pops it up on the infield. Nettles takes charge, and he's got it. He waved off his roommate, Eddie Leon. Nettles and Leon are pretty tight. They room together when the Indians were on the road. One out. Here is Jeff Burrows, who's over 3. He struck out in the 4th. The 1-2 pitch. Got the inside corner. Strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Farmer. That is the 3rd time Burrows has struck out today. Here's Toby Harrah. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 4th. Hitting .253 against right-handers. The 1-2 pitch. Harrah hits a base hit in the right field. Here is Elliot Maddox. He is 0 for 1. He grounded to 3rd. He walked in the 4th, walked in the 5th. And then in the 5th, after he walked, he stole 2nd, and then he stole 3rd. Curveball, ground ball down the 3rd base line. That's foul. Grounder back to the box. Farmer throws him out. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left. Or no, 1 man left, I'm sorry. After 7, it is the Senators 6, the Indians 2. Defensive replacement for Washington. Tom McCraw comes into play first, taking over for Frank Howard. Yeah, they had 1 man left on base. I'm sorry, I got a little confused. Chris Chambliss leads off for the Indians in the 8th. He's 0 for 2. He was safe on an error in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, and was hit by a pitch in the 6th. The 3-2 pitch. Base hit in right field. Burrows bobbles it. And Chambliss takes 2nd on the error. Chambliss is hitting .424 against Washington. The only team he's hit better against this year than Washington has been Milwaukee. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 2 for 3. Last night's hero. He singled in the 4th, or he doubled in the 4th, singled in the 6th. Fosse hits a base hit in the right field. Chambliss rounds 3rd. He'll score. It's 6-3, Washington. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 6th. No one out. Runner on first. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1 ball. 1 strike. High and inside. Ball 2. It's grounder up the middle. Cullen to his right. Has it. To second for 1. To first. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. Here's Roy Foster. He is over 2. Grounded out in the 2nd. Popped out in the 4th. And he had a sacrifice fly in the 6th. When Cleveland scored their first run. Chris Chambliss scoring that run. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball. It's a shallow fly ball in the left field. Harrah going back. Unser coming in. And Unser has it. 3 outs. Cleveland gets 1 run. 2 hits. 1 error. No one left. We go to the bottom of the eighth. It's Washington 6, Cleveland 3. Tim Cullen leads off. He's 2 for 3 today. Singled in the third. Doubled in the fourth, scoring 2 runs. Yeah, I think earlier I may have said that Cleveland is going for a 4-game sweep. Yeah, they are. I thought so. Okay, Cullen didn't play yesterday. That's where I got a little confused. The 2-1 pitch. Base hit up the middle. Here's Bill Gogoleski. He is 1 for 2. Hit a sacrifice bunt in the third. He singled in the fourth. That scored Tim Cullen. And he struck out in the fifth. They're playing him in for the bunt. He's a good bunter. He lays one down. Nettles has it. Throws to Lowenstein, covering first. 1 out. Cullen takes second on the sacrifice. Here's Dave Nelson. He's 1 for 3. He doubled in the third. That scored Cullen with the first walk of the game. He also walked in the fourth. Trying to make up for his error that led to 3 unearned runs for the Indians in the 9th inning yesterday. Ball 2. That's way off the plate. High and inside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Another swing and a miss, strike 2 on a curveball. Ball 4. First walk of the game given up by Farmer. Here is Del Unser, who's 3 for 4 today. He flied out in the first. He singled in the third. Singled in the fourth. That scored Gogoleski. And he singled in the sixth. Fossey goes out to talk to Farmer. Unser sitting 244 with runners in scoring position. Ball 1. Looking ahead to the Indians in the 9th, it will be Eddie Leone, John Lowenstein, and Frank Baker. The 1-0 pitch. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Ball 2. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Full count. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 3 for Farmer. 2 outs. And here's Dick Billings, who's 1 for 4. He singled in the fourth. That scored Dave Nelson, making the game 6-0 for Washington. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Low and inside, ball 1. Way over the head of Fossey. That's all the way to the backstop. That's a wild pitch. Cullen takes third. Nelson takes second. Both Washington runners are in scoring position now with a 2-1 count. Up and away, ball 3. No, 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Ball 4. Second walk given up by Farmer. That is a sixth walk given up by Cleveland pitching today. Colbert, Austin, and Farmer have each given up 2 walks. Here's Tom McCraw making his first at bat. He came in as a defensive replacement for Frank Howard. Sitting .238, 10 home runs, 40 runs batted in, and spoiler alert, future member of the Cleveland Indians. Ball 1. Bottom of the first in Oakland, the A's lead the White Sox 1-0. That is game 1 of a doubleheader. It's a slow grounder down the third base line. That's foul. McCraw was looking to put this one out of reach. Too high, ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's a grounder to second. Lowenstein to first. 3 outs. Oh, the Indians got out of a jam there. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left the bases loaded. We go to the 9th inning. It is Washington 6, Cleveland 3. Scheduled batters for Cleveland in the 9th, Eddie Leone, John Lowenstein, and Frank Baker. Eddie Leone is 0 for 3 today. Bill Gogoleski is back out. He is looking for his 6th complete game of the season. The 1-1 pitch. Hits a fly ball into center field. Maddox drifting over. He has it. 1 out. Here is John Lowenstein. He's 2 for 3 today. He struck out in the 2nd. He singled in the 5th inning. He hit a solo home run in the 7th. The 2-0 pitch. It's a grounder to short. Hara up with it. Throw to first. 2 outs. The Indians are an out. Have 1 out left. Here is Frank Baker. Let's see. Nope, they're going to call him back. Vada Pinson will come in a pinch hit. Pinson's hitting .253 with 10 home runs, 35 runs batted in. He's 0-2 as a pinch hitter. The 1-2 pitch, grounder to short. Hara, throw to first. Oh, Pinson legged that out. He's safe. Pinson was a pinch hitter in last night's game in the 9th inning. He got on base by way of a force play, had a stolen base and a run. Pinch hitting for Ed Farmer is Chuck Hinton. Hinton is hitting .207, 2 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Hinton is 5 for 22 as a pinch hitter. Those 5 hits, 2 were doubles and 1 was a home run. Pinson's on first. He has 25 steals on the season. Indians are down by 3. They have 2 outs. In there at the knees, strike 1. Over the head of Billings, wild pitch. Pinson takes second. The 1-1 pitch. Low and away, ball 2. Check this swing, but that hit the corner. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. Strike three call. And that's the game. Washington wins 6-3. Washington had 6 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. They left 10 men on base. Cleveland had 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 6 men on base. Bill Gogoleski gets the win. He's 7-3. He pitched a complete game. He gave up 9 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. He gave up 1 home run. He didn't walk anybody. He struck out 4. Vince Colbert gets the loss. He's 4-7. He went 3 2/3. He gave up 8 hits, 6 runs. They were all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2. Those 2 walks looked like they rattled him. And he just lost his rhythm. Rick Austin pitched an inning and a third in relief. He gave up 2 walks. He struck out 3. And 3 innings for Ed Farmer in relief. He gave up 3 hits. He walked 2. He struck out 3. For the Indians, John Lowenstein went 2 for 4 with a home run. Ray Fosse went 3 for 4 with a double. For Washington, Del Unser went 3 for 5 with an RBI. Tim Cullen went 3 for 4. He drove in 2. And let's see. Star of the game, Bill Gogoleski. 7-3. Complete game win. He looks like he may be a candidate for the Rookie of the Year. Time of the game was 2 hours and 57 minutes. Indians have a scheduled off day tomorrow, but they'll be in Cooperstown playing the Hall of Fame game against the Cubs. Once again, our final score, Washington 6, Cleveland 3, as Washington avoids the 4-game sweep. Hope you enjoyed this game. Even though the Indians lost, they did rally a little bit. But regardless, hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.